Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome, race fans, to the famed Daytona International Speedway, live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. I'm Tanner Sharp here in the booth calling the action, and help me calling the action tonight, doing all the camera angles and the button pushing, is David Everly. As we are getting ready to go, here the drivers are currently in qualifying. This is the Drive for Suicide Prevention Racing League for the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 here at Daytona. And Dave, welcome here in the booth. And I tell you what, Daytona International Speedway is one of the famed marks on auto racing across the United States. And tell us a little bit in your eyes about Daytona.
Well, Daytona, I mean, these drivers not just got to worry about driving. These drivers got to keep an eye on their gauges as these cars are pushing at 195 mile an hour around the track. they have to make sure they keep an eye on their temperature gauges, because these engines will get hot when they are in the draft. So they got to keep an eye to keep these engines cool, to keep them from blowing up, because if not, we'll see a puff of smoke and they will be going down pit road.
Absolutely, and Daytona is one of them tracks. It's history in racing. You've had drivers like Petty, Yarborough, Junior Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon. All them drivers have gone to victory lane here at this famed super speedway. 2.5 miles is the length of this racetrack, with 31 degrees of banking in the corners and 18 degrees of banking at the start-finish line, which is about as steep as of a roof on a ranch house. That's how steep the tri-oval is, and these guys can go at least 3 wide through there. But it probably wouldn't be a very good idea to go 3 wide through the tri-oval or anywhere parts of the racetrack, because this track is more narrower than what Talladega is. Talladega, you have more room to work with. So now we talked about the racetrack a little bit. Let's talk about the drivers that will be starting this event. Right now, all the drivers are on qualifying right now for 5 minutes. Hayden Harville is currently on the pole. Stephen Kinney is in second place. William, what's that last name? Krasuska is in third place, is so far on the grid. But usually with a small amount of drivers like we have here tonight, Dave, I'm counting about 16 drivers will start tonight's event. It really wouldn't matter where you're starting in the field as long as you're not getting too aggressive with your moves.
Yeah, most definitely here. Taking a look at some of these drivers, looks like we have a lot of A-class drivers. Actually, looking down here, we actually have a pro driver here in the field with us. That is going to be the 21 of Alex Bergeron, who is currently out putting down some lap times, qualifying time right now. So these drivers, they've got a mix of drivers, so we are going to see a mix of talent here at Daytona Plate Track Racing under the lights. Oh, this is going to be an exciting race here tonight, Tanner.
Absolutely, and Alex Bergeron, a pro driver, but I tell you what, he'll be probably taking some guys to school tonight, with that being said. But usually restricted plate racing like this under the lights at Daytona can really favor anybody. You can go from the back to the front, to the front to the back in a matter of minutes. And sometimes when they're 2x2 up in front and there's nowhere to go, sometimes you got to play that waiting game to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, most definitely. Here's currently, we'll take a look at the 34 of Blake Rorick. He is out here on the track here in that Fanatec car of his, as he is laying down some lap times here. Currently qualified 8th as he is coming out of turn number 4. We are going to see if he is going to be able to improve his lap time here for qualifying for the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 here at Daytona International.
Be a really fun race to watch. I'm going to be interested as these guys are going to be exchanging the lead back and forth. And look at that, Dave. Alex Bergeron is on top of the board by a tenth at least over the Jonathan Smith, who is currently in second, as qualifying is wrapping up in about 10 seconds or so. So these drivers will get down pit road, take a quick drink before hopping back in these cars, and we get these things unleashed. Any final thoughts before we take it through the grid here, Dave?
Well, I am just ready for some plate track racing. It's some of the best racing you can see. You'll see these cars inches apart, both in front, behind, and on the side. I even think we're going to see some 3-wide racing tonight here, Tanner.
Absolutely. This is restricted plate racing like Daytona and Talladega. It's kind of like a chess match, Dave. A 200, or I shouldn't say a 200 mile an hour. That's what the Gen 6 Cup cars. But these cars, if you're pushing really good and get a good run off turn 2 and turn 3, you can get to 200. But usually these cars are pushing about 190 to 195 miles an hour. So in other words, this is going to be a 195 mile an hour chess match for 100 laps tonight in Daytona. So let's try to get up these guys ready to go here. Let's do the grid here. Alex Bergeron on the pole in the 21 machine. Jonathan Smith will roll off in the second place spot tonight. AJ Barisi, I apologize if I have the name incorrect. He will roll off in the third spot. Stephen Kinney in fourth. Shane McCurry in fifth. Hayden Harville will start sixth. Joseph McWhorter in 7th, Blake Rourke in 8th, William Krasuska is in 9th, and rounding out that top 10 is Stephen Carlilli. And do you want to take the rest there, Dave? I could take the rest too. That's fine. But Josh Fox will roll off in 11th place. Now, Josh Fox in 11th did not take a qualifying time. So all the drivers I'm about to read off did not take a qualifying time. So Josh Fox in 11th, Tim Brangan in 12th, Gavin Jones in 13th, Justin Bruns in 14th, Ian Martinez in 15th, and rounding out this 16-car field tonight is Patrick Byron, which is a very nice paint scheme on Patrick. The Hooters Ford. Actually, there's quite a few paint schemes on here I'm really looking at right now. Like the 85 machine of Ian Martinez, Sherwin Williams Camaro, and then right next to him reminds me of the old Davey Allison paint scheme, and I believe it is the Haviline paint scheme by Justin Bruns. One thing that I was talking about before we went live here, Dave, is the paint schemes that are out here tonight. I see a Burger King car, number 76. That is Stephen Kinney. Well, these drivers are going to be rolling off pit road. They're only going to take one pace lap here. So this next time when they come to the start-finish line, they will drop the green flag. Pace car lights are turned off, signifying that the pace car is going to take a hard left to pit road when it gets there. We're going to start off 2x2, and we will probably be 2x2 in the early stages of this 100-lap race. But before we go green, let's take a look at our weather settings here. Realistic weather tonight, I am reading on the notes here, partly cloudy, 71 degrees Fahrenheit, track temperature 72 degrees. The wind is coming from the east at 6 miles an hour with 68% humidity out there. So it's a warm night, but it is cool out there on the racetrack, so that's going to provide a lot of grip for these drivers. As they go down the Daytona super stretch, there's some butterflies out there, I bet there, Dave. Don't you ever get any butterflies if you ever start a race on iRacing because you don't know what's going to happen?
Oh yeah, every time I start a race and you're coming out of the last turn, coming to that start-finish line, the butterflies just get nervous. But usually within the first lap or two, they kind of go away. I settle down and just put my head down and push.
This may be a simulation, folks, but I tell you what, these drivers can get them same feelings, during a race, because iRacing is the greatest sim in the world that follows to the closest real life. The cars that they're driving are laser scanned. The racetrack that they're driving on is also scanned. And here we go, green flag. We are racing at the Daytona International Speedway. Number 21, Alex Bergeron out front gets a nice push from the 51 machine of AJ Brissett. On the bottom side, very nice push, entering turn one. I bet those two cars on the bottom are going to clear everybody else, and they will. Now, what is the 51 car going to do? Is he going to jump to the outside, or is he going to play it safe and stay to the inside? Mr. Lonely, number 76, on that high side, coming off turn number 2, has no drafting help. He might pick up some drafting help now, because the 51 machine just hopped out there, and somebody else just hopped on out there as well. I believe that is the 23 machine of Jonathan Smith. AJ Brissett off the high side, challenging for the race lead on lap 1, coming off turn number 4. Alex Bergeron on the bottom, looking for help from the number 29 machine of Shane McCurry. And to the line, it is AJ Brissett leading the first lap.
Yeah, we are running too wide here. These guys are just kind of looking content on riding here. They're trying to get that outside going. That looks like that's right now the outside lane may be the fastest there. But we do have a 5-car push there on bottom and only a 3-car push on the outside. Meanwhile, a little further back here in a second pack, as we see the 34, Blake Warwick, down below the yellow line there, as he is losing a little bit of speed, kind of making his way to the back of the field here, is the 85 there of Ian Martinez, is currently working with the 12 of Gavin Jones.
Yeah, these guys are pretty much laying in the back. I do see Ian Martinez blinking just a little bit, but it's not really bad. So he's staying pretty content right here. These guys are just dropping towards the back of the pack, just riding. But they don't want to ride too much because they don't want to lose the lead pack. So I kind of suggest that number 2 machine, to really get single file with everybody else so they can start chasing down the lead pack just a little bit, because you don't want to get too far behind.
Yeah, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to get too far behind. You want to keep them in sight. You kind of just want to run single file here, get a feel for the track, get a feel for the drivers around you. We are going to go back up front taking a look at the 51 of AJ Brissett there in the lead. Is this lead pack here is now all single file. Meanwhile, the 21 Alex Bergeron, it tries to the outside. The 51 goes up, tries to block him, but he has no help on the outside. But actually, no, here comes some help for him to try to push, but there's only 2 cars on top.
AJ Brissett thought about going high to block the 21 machine of Alex Bergeron, and I tell you what, Dave, it didn't work. But on Alex's part as well, because he's fallen back just a little bit with a little drafting help from the 25 machine of Hayden Harville. So up front, AJ Brissett. And second place is that 29 machine of Shane McCurry. Shane McCurry coming from the 5th spot all the way up to 2nd. And right behind the 29 machine of Shane there is Joseph McCordy. Started 7th, already up into the top 3 in just the first 5 laps. Now,
yeah.
Go ahead there.
I'm just thinking these guys, I don't know if right now 2 wide is really going to be the place to be. Kind of run single file here. We do have 96 laps remaining here tonight in the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250. So they've got some time here. Just kind of want to hold their line here. Try not to get any damage. And, of course, check your gauges.
Yep, and that is definitely a good key call there, Dave, that is checking your gauges. And right now I assume the 21 of Alex Bergeron, his gauge has got to be running cool. Nobody's running in front of him at all, so all that clean air is going to that engine. However, if you're looking at the number 76 machine there, that is run by Stephen McKinney, the Burger King car. He's all tucked up behind that 21 machine. He's getting dirty air to that engine there, and there's really no air up to there as, wow! AJ Brissett up towards the front. He's seen that 21 coming up there to block. Thinking about coming down low, entering turn 3. He's protecting his position in that Toyota Camry. Oh, contact number 88 going around on the apron there. What a save. That is the William Kruska.
Yeah, he definitely saved it. He is going to get picked up there by the 25 machine or 23 machine of Jonathan Smith, as he is going to run in his pack, but that is going to put him back here in the looks like the 7th position. So we are going to have 6 cars up here in the lead pack. Meanwhile, the 21 of Alex Bergeron still trying to get that outside to work, but he just can't get enough cars up there to help him, as they are just kind of falling back here to 76. Stephen Kenny down low there, door to door there with Alex Bergeron here. So they are just kind of riding here. As we look, they are doing 192, 193 mile an hour through that turn.
Boy, I still got to go back and tip my hat there to that 88 machine of Kruska on that save. He pulled a Kyle Busch right there. He does have some rear damage, but I tell you what, he's still hanging in there.
Yeah, he's got enough cars behind him. I think if they hook up, they'll be able to catch that lead pack no time. But from the notes here, these guys are running on a 75% fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how long these guys go before we start seeing people breaking off and getting green flag pit stops, as we are now on lap 8 of 100 with 93 laps remaining.
Boy, I tell you what, Hayden Harville almost went below the yellow line. I might have to double check on that to get around the 76 machine there of Stephen Kinney. And the Burger King machine is going to hop down low and just kind of ride in line there. Really nowhere for him to go. But Alex Bergeron is actually pushing somebody this time around. He is pushing that 25 machine of Hayden Harville. Hayden Harville jumped to the outside, wanted to try to make something happen. I mean, this is actually a pretty good experiment in the early stages of the race. Now, some drivers could agree, and there goes the 48 machine going 1 lap down. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. He is currently only 1 lap down, riding on the apron of the racetrack. But one thing is, when you're in the early stages of the race like this, you can test and see how good that outside lane really is. and that way you would know for something later in the race. And right now you can tell the 21 Alex Bergeron, Hayden Harville on that outside lane challenging for the race lead of AJ Brissett.
Yeah, we've seen AJ Brissett so far lead all the laps here since lap 1. But I tell you what,
trouble! Trouble on the backstretch. This will bring out a caution. The 25 machine of Hayden Harville is around, collecting other machines on the racetrack. First caution of the night, coming off turn 2, entering the Daytona Superstretch. And if I'm not mistaken, Dave, you would have to bring it up on the replay to see what you've seen, but I think he got a little tap from the 21 machine in the left rear quarter panel.
Yeah, he just made a little contact. He wasn't quite square with the bumper there, as we are going to take a look at it here on the blimp view. As the 21 of Bergeron just gives him a little tap, he gets around down into the 13 machine. So these guys are going to have some heavy damage as we see a mad dash of cars going below the yellow line to try to avoid the incident.
I see the 88 and the 28 machine getting by the 34 machine. Wow, who's the 34 machine? That's Blake Rourke, just squeaked by.
I tell you, looking at the replay, I think the 76 of Stephen Kinney got the worst of it. He did smack that wall pretty hard, but we are on our first caution of the evening here on lap 11.
Definitely is, and I definitely agree. That 76 machine Burger King Camaro does not look good, all beaten up and all. So he's going to have to come down pit road and get some damage repaired. And I believe, yeah, he's the only car that has some minor damage. I believe there's other cars that were involved in that incident as well. I'll have to take a look back just to see who those drivers were. But we're going to keep our focus up towards the front here because pit road is going to be opening up. And we'll see who's going to have some takers and who's going to stay out. So far, AJ Brissett is going to be down pit road, leading the charge on the pit road.
Yeah, it looks like the only car going to stay out is the 48 machine of Josh Fox. He is going to get that lucky dog and get back out on the lead lap here as these guys are down on pit road for their first pit stop of the evening.
First pit stop of the evening here in Daytona. Drivers are taking 4 tires. I do see some 2-tire calls, and the 51 machine beats out the 29 just by inches. Everybody else behind does take 4 tires. So before we, because usually the caution laps with a lucky flag do take a little bit here in Daytona. Gonna kind of take a look back here just to see everybody else that was involved into that caution flag coming off turn number 2 that I can actually call out here. The drivers that really have the damage on their race cars here is going to be the 25 machine, the 33 machine, and the 76 machine. So those 3 drivers right there, the 25, that's Hayden Harville, the one that got turned. The 33 machine of Joseph McCordy, who has actually left the session, so he is done for tonight's event. And Stephen Kinney in the 76 all have damage. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Dre Broadcasting Network. Don't go away because there's more action from Daytona.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway here on the Dre Broadcasting Network for the Drive for Suicide Racing League Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 at Daytona. We are on the one-to-go signal after having our first caution of the race. Drivers are down the backstretch getting ready to go here. Let's give you a little bit of a rundown on where everybody is at right now. AJ Brissett has led every single lap since the drop of the green flag. He's out front. Shane McCurry is currently in the second spot. Pole sitter Alex Bergeron is in third. Fourth place, Jonathan Smith. Fifth place, William Kruska is in fifth. Blake Rourke in sixth. Justin Bruns in seventh. Gavin Jones in eighth. Patrick Byron in ninth. And Tim Brannigan is in, rounding out your top 10. And drivers that were involved in that last incident are currently a lap down right now. Hayden Harville, the one that got turned, is down on pit road getting damage fixed. So coming to the green flag here in Daytona, pace car is going to haul to the left right here. A big time layback here of the race leaders, going about 70 miles an hour to the pace car's 80 as they're about to enter the tri-oval here. Green flag, we are back racing here at Daytona. Nice big jump by AJ Brissett. But I tell you what, he could be overtaken by the 21 machine of Alex Bergeron. Let's see what happens down in turn number 1. There is a battle up towards the high side. Those two drivers might sink in. I guess maybe not, because here comes the 29 right there. That's Shane McCurry leading that high side. The 23 machine, Jonathan Smith, following him. There's the 88 machine, who actually had a pretty good save down in 3 and 4. He's up there in the top 5. That is William Kruska. I'll get that name right one of these days, that's for sure. But meanwhile, back up towards the front is the 29 of Shane McCurry. Off the high side, nice run, nice good push by the 23 machine, Jonathan Smith, and Shane McCurry will lead a lap in Daytona.
Yeah, I think they might be clear. As the question is, are they going to drop down? Are they going to stay on that outside? No, they are going to drop down. They are going to get in front of the 51 of AJ Brissett. Meanwhile, the 34 machine's looking at that outside line. Here comes the 88 of William Kruska as they are taking that outside lane. But look, they have a line of cars behind them on that outside there, Tanner.
Yeah, that 28 machine, that's just by himself. Nobody in front of him, nobody behind him, really. He is trying to keep in the tracks of Blake Rourke in the 34. That's 7th and 6th position, respectively, as that was a really good push Blake gave William there, as they go by the 25 machine, who that is Hayden Harville, who has a lot of damage and letting these guys go by. And I tell you what, Dave, you said something that you thought that Stephen Kinney may have taken the most damage, but I tell you what, he's actually got a good pack of cars without damage that is right behind him.
Yeah, taking a look, he has got some heavy damage on the left front of that Burger King machine, but he does have a good pack of cars behind him, as they are just a little ways here behind the lead pack, not too far. They're still within striking range.
Yeah, absolutely. These drivers back here, Stephen Kinney's going about 190 miles an hour compared to everybody else ahead of him. They're going about 194 to 196 miles an hour. So about a 5 to 8 mile an hour difference between Stephen McKinney and other drivers. Battle for the race lead. 29, Shane McCurry getting challenged by AJ Brissett. AJ Brissett's been up there all race long so far. Down in turn number 3, side by side. Top 2 drivers both have help. A little bit of side drafting going on by the 88 of Willem Kruska there. Jonathan Smith pushing Shane McCurry in the 29 machine. Johnson is in the 23 machine there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, those two, AJ Brissett there and the 88 of William Kruska, are making that outside line work with just two cars. They are keeping up, but they're just not able to clear to be able to jump down. Now, the question I have is, what is the 51 going to do when he does clear the 29 machine of Shane McCurry? Is he going to leave William Kruska out high and dry and jump down, or is he going to stay up on that top lane?
Well, it's a question we don't know, but it's a question we will have to see here if it produces. It just seems like AJ Brissett and the 88 of William Kruska, it just seems like they lose their momentum in the middle of the corners, but they gain it right back on the exit of the corners, which makes sense.
Looks like the 29 of Curry there is thinking of trying to use a little side drafting there to slow down the 51 of AJ Brissett, but they are just battling it out here at 194 mile an hour here on the backstretch.
Now, there was form of radio communication right there between the 88 and the 51. William Kruska told the 51, AJ, hey man, I can't follow on this high side much longer. I got to get in line here and just kind of rest my engine a little bit without pushing to get some air to this thing because my gauges were blinking. So the AJ understood that, and that's what happened right there. That outside lane just, formed up, unless right now the 88 decides to hop to the outside and the 51 will follow. So pretty much like doing a little swap.
Yeah, you got to do that because you need that fresh air to that engine to help cool it down. If not, you're going to have a bad day because you're going to go behind the wall to get a whole new engine repaired.
Oh, we got the race leader in trouble. That Shane McCurry looked like he was in trouble for like a split second. He hit the apron about twice in turn number 3. Got a little bobble there, but was able to save it. I am surprised he did not get turned by Jonathan Smith in 23.
Well, it looks like we got a new group here. We got the 28 of Justin Bruns. He is joining the outside line. He's also bringing the 34 of Blake Warwick as these guys have caught up to the lead pack. Right behind them, the 85 of Ian Martinez being pushed by the 12 of Gavin Jones and the 2 of Tim Bringen, as they are also, looks like Stephen Carril's back there and Patrick Bryan, as they are making a push to catch this lead back.
Oh, contact between the race leaders. The 88 is up there battling for the race lead. Made a little contact to the right side door of Shane McCurry. William Kruska falling back on a high side now, and he's got to follow back in line. Jonathan Smith looked like he was going to take a look underneath Shane McCurry for the race lead. Nothing produced there. That would be considered going below the yellow line realistically. '51, AJ Brissett popping out of line, getting help from William Kruska. Kruska looks like he's going to have to fall back because 51's unsure where his runs are going to go. That picks up a spot for Alex Bergeron. Now, all this jostling that's going on with the top 5 here, Dave, guess who it's all brought up? Blake York is actually off the pace here. He was up there running 6th, but he's off the pace now. But meanwhile, the 28 machine, Justin Bruins, has caught that lead pack, and he's got some helpers riding single file behind him. Ian Martinez, Gavin Jones, Tim Brangan, Stephen Carlilli. That's 10 drivers right there. I just named the top 10. And outside the top 10 is that 27 machine of Patrick Byron and the Hooters Ford. Battle up front. New leader, AJ Brissett, through the tri-oval, looking for helping from who's that? The 21 machine, AJ Brissett. And look what happened there. AJ Brissett jumps towards the inside and takes the race lead, leaving Alex hanging high.
Now, Alex got a little back up, a little ways back there. is there's now a few cars on the outside. But I tell you what, man, these drivers are dicey. They are flirting with disaster with that apron, because I don't know, you can only flirt with it so much before it comes back to bite you there, Tanner.
Yeah, exactly, and you don't want to be completely on a bomb because that's where you're just going to hit it. They do go around the lap car of the 25 machine of Hayden Harville. Harville's going to go about 5 laps down now. Single file for the top 5 cars at Daytona, coming off turn number 2. And behind them is single file racing as well, between Justin Bruns getting a ton of help from about 5 cars. That's with him, Ian Martinez, Gavin Jones, Tim Brangan, Steven Carlilli, and Patrick Byron. All riding here single file. But there goes Alex.
Well, taking a look here, Tanner, these guys got about 15 laps since their last pit stop. I do know from the few Daytona 500s that I ran in the NIS series with 100% fuel, you're usually looking right about 35 to maybe 40 laps on a full tank. These guys are only running 75%. So I'm figuring probably within the next 10 to 15 laps, we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be also key, too. If you're under green flag racing and you're racing here in Daytona, the one thing you just don't want to do is beat yourself. And when I mean that is don't beat yourself on pit road. You speed, or that's going to cost you at least maybe a lap. If you overdrive your pit box, it's going to mean a couple 100 yards on the racetrack.
Yeah, most definitely. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Dre Broadcasting Network, bringing you live action here from Daytona International in the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250. So if you are new to Dre Broadcasting, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Follow us so you know when we go live, because we are live almost 7 days a week. So check us out, check out our races, and thanks for tuning in here tonight.
Absolutely. Come chat with us, and we'll do our best to respond. But we do got some battles up towards the front here. The 29 Shane McCurry jumped to the high side, getting some help from that 21 machine of Alex Bergeron. Can they try to produce something on this high side? So far, they're trying, and Alex has got to get to that back bumper if they're going to try to something here. I don't think it's going to happen on entry of a corner, but something can produce on exit. Now, they're really dropping back here, so I don't think nothing ain't going to happen this time around.
Yeah, you're going to need a couple more cars to help with that outside, but they're not giving up on it. We've got a few drivers laying that rubber down there on the outside, so they are just definitely trying to make it work, but it's going to take a lot more rubber here as we are coming here on lap 30, coming to lap 30 as they are coming out of turn number 4 into the dog leg. We will have 71 laps remaining here at Daytona International Speedway.
Long way to go, and I tell you what, the drivers in the back, like pretty much Justin Bruns on back, really understands it's a long way to go yet. But the key thing that I noticed that these drivers are really doing is staying with the lead pack, and that's actually a pretty good thing, because you want to be with the lead pack. You want to be in position to put yourself up there even through pit stops. They do go around the lap car of the 76 machine, Stephen Kinney, who is actually going to go 1 lap down. So if there is a caution flag, he would get back on the lead lap, but he's a couple miles an hour slower than everybody else. Single file racing here at Daytona International Speedway, coming through the tri-oval here. It is AJ Brissett out front, who has pretty much led majority of the laps tonight, with the exception of Shane McCurry, who led a few laps. We actually took the lead away from AJ Brissett shortly after our first restart of the evening. Shane McCurry currently running in the 4th position.
Yeah, it looks like right now there, Tanner, we got 2 Toyotas, number 1, number 2. We got a Chevy running 3rd and a Ford running 4th. So we have a mixture of manufacturers up here running, but man, them Toyotas are just driving quick here tonight.
The Toyotas have been quick in the real world of NASCAR in the last couple of years, and so they are quick here tonight in Daytona, running 1-2 at the moment with a Camaro in third, a Ford in fourth, like you said, Dave, and a 21 machine of Alex Bergeron is in a Toyota as well. So we got 3 Toyotas in the top 5. Looking also throughout the field here, not much action really going on with everybody else. From first place to 11th place is one big pack, and they are only separated by a second and a half. 28 machine, Justin Bruins has the opportunity and he has the help to hunt down the race leaders, but they're really not hunting them down. They're keeping tabs with them, but they're not hunting them down, which is pretty much a strategy part, and I believe everybody behind Justin Bruins in the 28 realizes that. So these guys, I have not seen much racing action going on in the back of the pack here at all. The only kind of side-by-side racing that I really have been seeing has been up towards the front for that race lead. So we should be coming up on pit stops soon here, Dave, here in Daytona. Would you rather be getting on the radio now and saying, all right, what's the plan here?
Well, it just depends if you have any teammates to work with. The thing of it is, you kind of don't want to give out your plan too early. As we see the 28, contact made, he goes down into the grass. Looks like he is going to keep it off the wall. Yes, he is. He's going to keep it off the wall and get it going again and trying to get back onto the track.
Boy, oh boy, I wonder how that happened. And he does get on the radio about it. I don't think he's playing in there. Oh, yeah, it looks like the 27 machine, according to what I'm seeing here, Dave, was going to follow Stephen Carlilli in the 78 because Stephen was going to go low, it looked like. Actually, no, he didn't go low. He didn't even move. The 27 just came down on him just a little bit. And it was enough to punt him off the racetrack.
Yeah, as we take a look here at the Dre Broadcasting replay from the chopper view, he is the 27 is following, gets a little loose there. I'm not sure if contact was made or net code, but that is going to send the 28 down through the grass. But he does a good job at keeping it off the wall and getting it going back straight again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very unfortunate. Hopefully you can get a caution, whether it was net code or contact. Either way, kind of put into that situation there, and you're pretty much hoping for a caution.
Yeah, it's going to drop him way back. He is that lead pack is actually starting to catch him pretty quick now here as the lead pack is coming through turns 1 and 2, and he is working his way through turns 3 and 4. So they are catching him quick here as we are still being led by the 51 of AJ Brissett, Jonathan Smith in second, William Kruska in third, Stephen Carlisle in fourth, Patrick Bryan in fifth, Shane McCurry sixth, Alec Bergeron seventh, Gavin Jones running eighth, Ian Martinez running ninth, and Tim Brangan running in your top 10 spot.
Couple of new players in the top 5 this evening. We got 2 of them, Stephen Carlilli in the 78 machine and Patrick Byron in the Hooters Ford up there in the top 5. They were going to be players, but it looks like they're going to ride the high side to get out of the mix and pretty much let them go by. Just listening to radio communication here at the moment. There's a couple drivers getting on the radio talking about pit stops. I don't think nobody is pitting this time by, but there is talk on the radio of pit stops.
Yeah, we'll see, because if you're going to pit, the place to be is down on that bottom lane, but these guys got to remember they are going to be going from 190 mile an hour down to pit speed of 60 mile an hour. So they are going to have to watch their brakes and make sure they don't lock them up and spin their cars on the entrance to pit road.
I am so glad on iRacing we do not have any kind of brake failure, but who knows, I may have just cursed it for iRacing to bring brake failure into iRacing. That way, if you're at a short track or even a hard on the brakes, getting on pit road at a super speedway, you don't want to wear out them brakes. But today we don't even have that, so you can get as hard as the brakes as you want.
Actually, Tanner, speaking of iRacing, I was reading today, it looks like iRacing is going to be bringing a couple new cars into the mix here. These will be more of the road cars, but it looks like I read that the Ford GT3, they've already got it scanned. They are just working on getting it approved, and hopefully they're hoping by the June build releasing that.
Trouble on the racetrack. We got the caution is out. Bunch of cars involved in it. 23 machine. That is Jonathan Smith. That looked like that actually kind of started that. We'll have to take a look at the replay to really find out here.
It looks like the 23 went down on the apron and just lost it there. They were running single file up on the high line here. The 23 gets on that apron. The 21 of Alex Bergeron jumps down, but gets caught up in it and gets rear-ended real hard.
Oh,
that is going to take quite a few cars out there, Tanner.
Dave, don't you? I think he got loose. He didn't get any contact from anybody. He just got loose entering the corner of the racetrack, rode the apron, and made contact with the 21 and 29 machine involved. Hard lick for that 29 machine of Shane McCurry. Holy cow!
Yeah, he went for a spin there. Looked like that back end just broke loose when he tried to go down into the low lane, and it just sent him down on that apron, and that was over from there.
And oh man. Well, pit road is going to be open this time by, and I bet that 28 machine actually got saved from that caution. He didn't necessarily go a lap down, I don't think. He did not. So, with that being said, I believe the lucky dog, once these guys pit, will go to the 34 machine of Blake Rourke.
Well, those little pace cars now bringing them out of turn 4. We are going to take a look here at the commitment cone as these guys are running right about 29-30 laps on their tires. So we are going to see some more pit stops here on lap 40 with 61 laps remaining.
Pit road is open, and here we go. Down to pit road. I believe one car did stay out. It is the 78 machine of Stephen Carlilli and the 27 of Patrick Byron. And those two drivers right there that stayed out have been working together since pretty much the drop of the green flag. And those are the only two drivers that stayed out. Everybody else is on pit road. Let's see who takes what on the pit road here. Left sides are up on pretty much every single driver. Yep, 4 tires for everybody on pit road. AJ Brissett is off already. Here comes the 88 of William Kruska. Here in Daytona. So a 3-car pileup, Dave, down in turn number, I think that was turn number 1 that happened in. Those drivers, one more time, I'm going to name off here just a second before we take a little bit of a commercial break here, is the 23 car of Jonathan Smith involved, the number 21 of Alex Bergeron, and the 29 machine of Shane McCurry. Those are the 3 drivers that I am currently seeing that were involved. Nobody else was involved. So that was took those guys on pit road to get their damage fixed as much as possible.
Also taking a look, it looks like the 21 of Alex Bergeron and Joseph McWhorter have taken their car behind the wall due to some damage of some previous incidents.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a commercial break here in Daytona. 2 cars stay out. What's going to be the strategy for Stephen Carlilli and Patrick Byron? Find out when we return here in Daytona.
racing. You wanted the best, you got them for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway for the drive for prevention. Drive for suicide prevention, Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 at Daytona. Looking at my notes here, obviously too. Sometimes you just lose track of, especially with all the action going on that has gone on tonight here. Just trying to catch a break here on speaking, but that's all right. I'm all good and ready to go for this restart here. Dave is too. As AJ Brissett is out front. Second place, Gavin Jones, a new player here. He's in second. Tim Brannigan in third. Ian Martinez in fourth. Stephen Carlilli in fifth. Sixth, Justin Bruns. Seventh is Patrick Byron is in seventh. William Kruska is in eighth. Blake Rourke, the lucky dog, in ninth. Stephen Kinney actually took the wave around to get himself back on the lead lap. Coming to get the green flag here in Daytona, AJ Brissett, who's led majority of the night tonight, stayed out front. I don't think he's lost I don't think he hasn't gone any lower than third place. But green flag is out. We're back racing in Daytona. AJ gets out front here. It'll be a side-by-side battle for the second spot here. Nice little run off that high side by the number 12 machine of Gavin Jones. And he's getting a big push there by the 85 machine, Ian Martinez.
Yeah, he's giving a good push here. Here comes the 28 machine. Justin Bruns on the outside also. Looks like they've got some help from the 78 machine. The 78 is Stephen Carlisle. The 27 of Patrick Bryan. And Stephen Kinney is back up here as well.
Yeah, Stephen McKinney, he's in there in that top 10. That 27 Hooters 4 in the back there. Or not the 27, excuse me, the 76, the Burger King machine. Trying to keep with the lead draft. I know he has damage, but he's doing everything he can to keep himself up front. But meanwhile, we do got a new leader brewing up here so far. That 12 machine of Gavin Jones working at high side. 3 cars on the high side, 3 cars on the low line. What line will prevail? And looks like they're both pretty equally strong down the backstretch.
Yeah, the 2 machine of Tim Brannigan is pushing pretty good on the 51 of AJ Brissett.
Almost did not make it, but he made it. Gavin Jones leaves the 85, Ian Martinez, and the 28, Justin Bruns, on that high side. Kind of left him hanging a little bit.
Not sure what happened, but the 34 of Blake Rourke breaks off and comes down onto pit road here on lap 46.
Yeah, he was the lucky dog, and now he's going to come down pit road here, and he overdrove his pit stall. That's going to cost him a lot of time on the racetrack.
But going back up front, we are being led by the 12 of Gavin Jones on the inside. Here comes the 51 of AJ on the outside, and he is bringing the whole row with him. So poor Gavin Jones is being left out to dry here on that inside, but here comes the 28 machine of Justin Bruns, bringing some help here on the inside, but it might just be a little too late.
Oh, Gavin Jones blinked through the trial over there. A horrible place to be blinking, but I tell you what, AJ Brissett has turned into the Pod Piper of Daytona. Where he goes, everyone follows. And he had 3 cars following him, and he got a really good push from that 88 of William Kruska, who's in second place. And usually, it's the 88 who's the Pod Piper, if you get my drift.
Well, here comes the 88 with the 2 machine on the outside, trying to make a pass here. They also going to bring the 28 and 85 with them. So that leaves AJ Brissett And the 12 of Gavin Jones on the inside by themselves.
Tim Brannigan's actually been quiet all night long. He's got a clean car on him in that number two Ford. Really pushing the 88 of William Kruska, and Kruska will lead for the first time tonight.
Well, that is going to give us our 7th lead change of the night. We've had 2 cautions, currently being led by William Kruska. Our fastest lap of the night here was put down by the 78 of Stephen Carlisle with a 45.659.
Top 9 cars are less than a second from each other, at least 7/10 from each other. Pretty amazing in a pack like this, trying to figure out where you're gonna go. Looks like that number 2 machine, Tim Brandgain, wants to lead. He's getting a good. He wants to get a good push here. Hopefully, he can get the good push from the 28 of Justin Bruins. Coming off turn number 2, and is that Stephen Kinney? I'm seeing that just broke into the top 5.
Yes, it is, but he is getting hung out here by the 78 machine of Stephen Carlisle and the 27 of Patrick Bryan as they are working the outside. But I tell you what, 76 of Stephen Kinney is just not letting them go there. He is putting up a heck of an effort as a lone car there on the inside.
Yeah, Stephen Kinney's like, come on, guys, come help me. I could probably, hang with these guys if I had enough cars behind me. But everybody's like, no, man, I'm sorry. You're just going a little bit too slow for our standards, so we're just going to have to leave you hanging out to dry there. We apologize, man, but we're going around you. And I tell you what, that number 12 machine, Gavin Jones, he was the race leader there, Dave. Look where he's at now, in the back of the pack here.
Yeah, as he drops down in front of Stephen Kinney, as Stephen Kinney's trying to keep that draft, but it looks like he just keeps falling further and back, so it may be that front end damage to his car.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a good angle on that 76 machine to see if, and by the way, nothing's really producing up front, so I'm actually going to take a little gander here at the 76 machine to see about if he has any nose damage. He doesn't have nose damage, but he does have splitter damage and a left front damage. So that might definitely bog the motor down as well. They do have the rear end of the car fixed along with the spoiler, but Stephen Kinney, man, I feel bad for him. He wants to run up there towards the race leaders, man, but he just cannot keep up. His highest speed right now going down the backstretch is a 189 compared to a 193 to a 194, even a 196 with this lead pack.
Well, I mean, even looking at our race leader, the 88 of William Kruska, as he gets passed by the 51 of AJ Brissett, he's got some left side damage on his Ford Mustang as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's not as severe as Stephen Kinney's left front damage, as we do have a new leader now. AJ Brissett goes by once again out front here in Daytona. Now, if AJ Brissett might win this race, but it's going to take a big group of cars. It's at least it's going to take somebody in that second spot to have everybody else behind them go around that 51 machine. But everybody, it just seems like they're just following AJ right now.
Well, as we are now 49 laps to go, we are beyond the halfway point here at Daytona International. The Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250, as we are being led by AJ Brissett. Tim Brangan is in second. Justin Bruns in third. Ian Martinez fourth. The 88 of William Kruska in fifth. Gavin Jones sixth. Stephen Carlisle in seventh. Patrick Bryan in eighth. And Stephen Kinney ninth. And the 34 of Blake Warwick rounding out your top 10.
I don't know what it is. Do they want to pass each other or what? Because these guys are all over the place down this backstretch, and it's creating some excitement up here in the booth, and it's creating some big old heartbeats in those cockpits of these drivers. Little driver, some drivers get on real like, okay.
Yeah, I tell you, nothing makes your heart flutter more when you're pushing a car and they kind of move up just a little. You know, your heart stutters just a bit, trying to figure out, are they going to come back down? Are they going up high? You kind of you got a split second to make a decision. Either back it off so they can get back down in and make sure you don't make the contact and spin them, or go for it and try to take that position.
Dale Earnhardt used to, usually at a Daytona race, he would start up towards the front, lead a few laps, and then purposely drop to the back, and then come back up to the front. He would do that all race long, timing it to see how long it would take him to get from the back to the front. And once he can time it correctly, he would usually go to victory lane at Daytona. And I think he really pulled those off in the in the Gatorade duels or the Daytona qualifying races back in the day. AJ Brissett out front, leading a single car pack here. Nobody's really trying to get towards the outside lane. There's some kind of outside takers there. And 28 machine, seen it coming. So did the 2. They all seen that outside lane coming, and now it is 4 cars on the outside line versus 2 on the inside. Who's going to prevail? 4 on the outside, 2 on the inside. That's Tim Brannigan. Or not Brannigan, Brangen. I'll get these names right one of these days, that's for sure. I'm trying. Down in turn number 1, that 2 car actually led that lap last time by, and he's going to be on point. He does have the option to go low, but he's not taking that option just yet. He's getting a nice, good push from drivers down that backstretch. Look at that.
Yeah, they are lined up perfect here on that outside. 4 cars on the outside, 2 on the in. That is going to ship AJ Brissett from first back into the... Well, he's currently running in the 4th position. Is him and the 88 of William Kruska are definitely battling. But they got to watch, because right behind them, you have the 78 of Stephen Carlisle and the 27 of Patrick Bryan just kind of riding together here. Just watching what these guys up front are doing.
Man, did those drivers on the outside lane coming off turn 2 last time by really created some legs down that backstretch. That 28 of Justin Bruns pushing that 2 car of Tim Brangen really hard. I just wonder if his engine may overheat. 85 machine, Ian Martinez blinking just a little bit there, but he's okay, it looks like. Now you get enough cars on that outside row, man, they can really work.
Oh, taking a look here, Tanner, these guys got about 17 laps, except for Gavin Jones. I'm showing he's got 47 laps since his last pit stop. I'm not sure if that's right here. Let me take another check here, see if I can figure that out. But no, he's got 18 laps there. But, so... We got 43 laps remaining, so it looks like we should be able to make this on just one more pit stop.
I am seeing that too, Dave, as well. Gavin Jones and the Justin Bruns all showing 47 laps since they last visited pit road, and that's including caution flags.
Yeah, but, I mean, even on a full tank of fuel there, Tanner, you can't go 40-some laps here at Daytona.
No, you can't, and I am definitely going to be checking back, or actually, I can't check back actually at the moment, but just to see if they really did make pit stops. But according to our data right here, they did not make a pit stop. But we do have a new leader out front, William Kruska. Got around Tim Brannigan. And that was a pretty good push on that inside row that allowed these guys to go up towards the race lead. Now, I wonder the reason why that outside line dissipated there, Dave, was because they just backed off to get some air to the engine, like the 28 machine. Probably had saying, hey, I got to back off just a little bit to get some air to the engine. He's telling the 2 car that he's pushing. So now everybody's remaining single file on the bottom side of the racetrack. AJ is actually falling back a little bit here for the first time this evening. No help on that outside row, really. AJ Brissett, 6th place.
Yeah, I don't think he's mastered Dale Jr.'s. I tell you what, I love watching Dale Jr. race here at Daytona International. He can make a line work just on his own with no help. Somehow he does it. He can
Trouble,
go 3,
trouble,
4,
88 going around. That's William Kruska, and I tell you what, that 51 machine gained 6 spots all by himself, and he's seen that coming. He's going to be our new race leader. I tell you, that was a lot of pushing and shoving, but I tell you what, the 88 actually himself did hit the yellow line, and it did not help with that 2-car all over that rear bumper. William Kruska once again saves it in 3 and 4. Everybody else, what a nice open eyes driving from Tim Brannigan.
We are going to have to go back to our Dre broadcast and replay here, see if we can see this in the view here. And we're going to watch his cockpit to see how he is working that wheel as he is leading here, coming through the dog leg as we are still green flag conditions. But he is coming through the dog leg leading. I think it was in turns 1 and 2 when he got into a little trouble. But we are going to keep an eye on this and look and see how he saved that.
Yeah, that's wheel work right there. Holy cow.
Yeah, I just coming here. I think I might have rewound a little too far there, Tanner. No, here it is. We watching him work that
Watch
wheel.
this.
As he's on the apron there, but look at him turn that wheel, nice, smooth, keeping it straight. Just doing everything he needed to do to keep it going. That was some great wheel work there by the 88 of William Kruska.
Yeah, and William Kruska's still in 3rd place and still hanging with the lead pack.
Yeah, that's a good job. I mean, most drivers, that would have been disastrous. They'd have been up in the outside wall.
We're unable to really get driver interviews once this race is done tonight due to some TeamSpeak / Discord server technical issues. So no driver interviews tonight, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for that. But up front, Justin Bruns, for the first time tonight, has taken a race lead. And I like that paint scheme.
Yeah, that Havoline paint scheme there looks really good on that Chevy Camaro.
Absolutely, and we got all the lead drivers back together again. Single file racing. Burger King Machine's going to go a lap down once again at Stephen Kinney.
Well, Tanner, we're now 37 laps remaining here at Daytona. Figure within the next 7 laps, we should start seeing some green flag pit stops, hopefully. And that should wind up our pit stops for the night, is I figure if they might push it here and try to go to 30, 31 laps. If they can, they will be able to make it on fuel the remainder of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And so throw the fuel mileage strategy out the window. You're going to make it once you make your pit stop. But this upcoming pit stop for these guys, whether it's under caution or under green, it's going to be your money pit stop. It's going to either make or break your race. AJ Brissett had a nice run off that high side, and he got blocked there by the 85 machine of Ian Martinez. Ian seen it coming. It was the correct move for Ian to make. For sure. Oh, and almost gets clipped by the 28. AJ went right in front of the 28's nose of Justin Bruns. No contact made. But that was a gutsy call to see if the car would fit in the hole, and it certainly fitted.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with 35 laps to go here at Daytona, we are going to crank it up. We are going to go to our crank it up cam so you can hear these horsepower driven machines go around this track.
Some great loud noise engines right there for these Xfinity NASCAR cars these guys are using tonight. But there was a big moment with the 85 machine of Ian Martinez who hit the apron of the racetrack. And I tell you what, Dave, these drivers are really wheeling and dealing it. I don't know if they've been driven dirt lately or not, but if they are, their skills are certainly paying off, because that is about the fourth time tonight, at least the third or fourth time tonight, I have seen a driver saved by clipping the apron.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw William Kruska do it twice, and as you said, the 85 machine of Ian Martinez, he did a good job at saving that, keeping it out. He has since only dropped back into the 6th position, but he is right there in the mix. So, but we are now on lap 69 of 100, 32 laps remaining here in the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 here at Daytona International Speedway.
Now, there's a bunch of cars here, but there's one car that is really sticking out in this lead pack. It has the 34 machine of Blake Rourke. He is actually 2 laps down, but doesn't have any kind of damage I am aware of to see on his number 34 machine Camaro. So, and he's able to stick with the lead pack, but as of right now, he's stuck on that high side and at no drafting help. Now, no one ain't going to use him as a pick right now to get up towards the front. So he's going to fall back in line, but he is capable on sticking with the lead lap drivers. Ooh, 28 machine actually stuck out of line too here. I just wonder, now there's no radio communication on why they're dropping out of line like this, but it could be a reason why, hey, I'm hot, I'm pushing, because that 28 of Justin Bruins was pushing AJ Brissett, and he's like, I'm hot, I got to do something about this, so he hopped out of line to get some cooler air.
Yeah, going through the cars there, it looks like the 2 machine of Tim Brangan and Ian Martinez don't really have any damage to their cars that I could see. They are some of the cleanest cars out there on the lead lap, looking good. Even that 12 machine of Gavin Jones doesn't look like there's any damage on that. They may be holding back. We are now 31 laps to go. Actually, 30 laps to go here as they cross the start-finish line. They are in that final pit window there, Tanner. So we should be seeing some green flag pit stops. The question is how long will they push it?
I don't know, but this race isn't over until that checkered flag flies. And keep your eye, folks. Mark me down on this. Keep your eye on 2 cats that are in the back of the pack. The 78 machine of Stephen Carlilli and Patrick Byron. Keep an eye on those 2 drivers as this race goes on towards that checkered flag. I think they got something for her. I think they've been laying in the back of the pack all race long. They've been working together. Keep an eye on those 2 cats back there. They're just lurking in the weeds, just staring.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little cat kind of stalking those chipmunks out in the yard, just kind of laying in the grass, prowling up. They've been here all night, so they may have a plan. They may be working together, too. That's a possibility there as well, Tanner.
Kind of like 2 dachshunds trying to stare at a rabbit's hole, waiting for them to come out. And then they will strike. But down in turn number 3, just AJ Brissett. I would give him the award already for leading the most laps tonight, followed by William Kruska, who's in 2nd place there. We do got pit stops here. Bunch of pit stops. Got 4 cars entering pit road, 60 miles an hour. Do not speed. Those drivers are Galvin Jones, the 2 car of Tim Brannigan, the 28th car of Justin Bruins, and the 85 of Ian Martinez. Everybody really easy. Oh, Gavin Jones totally misses his pit box. He's in trouble. And the 2 car of Tim Brannigan had a slight entrance as well.
Yeah, that's going to shake up. Meanwhile, we have another car coming down pit road. The 76 of Stephen Kinney still out there as he is down on pit road. We're going to follow our race leaders here, AJ Brissett. Looks like Brissett and Kruska are going to break off and come down on the pit road. Just 2 cars as they are slowing those machines down here to make sure they don't get caught speeding on pit road.
Yep, we got to watch these 2 leaders right here and make sure there isn't any kind of mistake between the 2 drivers. And it's going to be William Kruska who's going to hit his pit box first. Let's see how good of an entrance he gets into his pit box. Nice and smooth. The 78 machine slides in his pit box, and he had to back it up just a tick. Hit the 27 machine. Did he get in his pit box okay? He did. AJ Brissett and William Kruska get out 1-2. Those guys will be lined up, and those two cats back there, Stephen Carlilli and Patrick Byron, are leaving together. Now, Gavin Jones is actually working with the number 2 car, Tim Brangen, there. So those two cars will be working together. I thought that 12 would have lost more time than he already did on the racetrack. The 85 machine's in trouble. He actually hit the apron unless he's just getting off there, but getting off the turn 2 area there. Caution is out on the speedway.
That is going to be the 51 of AJ Brissett.
Oh, no.
We're going to pull up our Dre broadcast and replay here, focusing on the 51. Looks like it coming off of pit road. Oh, he made contact, and that sent him up. I think that may have blew his motor there, as it looks like he is going to get towed down onto pit road.
AJ Brissett, the driver who pretty much dominated all race long, gets a little loose on the apron of the racetrack and really overcorrected the car. And I mean, he really overcorrected it. I think just a little off the gas and probably tilt the wheel to the right just a tick. Not much, but this time he was really he tried keeping the speed up. It didn't work. Turned that wheel to the right and really damaged the motor on that 51 machine. So we will not see AJ Brissett in victory lane tonight, unfortunately, even though he pretty much had the dominating car of the race.
Well, here, Tanner, with just 26 laps remaining, we are going to step away for our final commercial break of the evening. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. So get you a refill, your drink, refill your snack, because this is going to be a nail biter down to the checker flag. We'll be right back.
You wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. Pace car lights are still on. Just a few handful of cars left out there on the racetrack right now. It is Gavin Jones on the tail end of the lead lap, but let's go up front here to kind of re-review of everything, single file here. William Kruska, the 88 machine who saved it twice on the apron of the racetrack to the racetrack itself in turn 3 and 4. is your race leader. Patrick Byron is in second place. Stephen Carlilli in third. Now, I did say watch those two cats right there, the 27 and the 78. They might be a big old threat hunting for that lead towards the end of the race. Justin Bruins in fourth. Blake Rourke is back on the lead lap somehow, some way, but he's back on the lead lap. In the fifth spot, Tim Brannigan in sixth. Seventh place, Gavin Jones. Eighth place, on the tail end of the lead lap, Ian Martinez.
Well, Tanner, this late caution here is going to stack this field up. They are going to be bumper to bumper here on the restart as we are 24 laps to go. Looks like we'll probably go green and have a 22-lap shootout here for the checkered flag tonight.
It's going to get interesting for sure here, Dave. So we got about 20 laps, about a 22-lap shootout here, as you just said. Let's kind of give you a little bit of a race summary on what's going on, how many laps to go, and how many cautions there have been. 77 of 100 laps, so that's 24 to go. Coming to 23 laps to go this time by 3 cautions for 11 laps. So it's not that bad on caution flags here tonight in Daytona. We should be getting the 1 to go signal this time by. Looking at the pace car lights, yes we do. 1 to go right now, so I don't know. Do you want to have a little fun here, Dave? You want to try to go for some picks here? Who do you think is going to win this race?
Well, I tell you what, I like the guy that's been hiding in the back. I think I am going to go with the 85 of Ian Martinez. I think he's far enough back there. He's just going to ride, and he's going to make a late run here for the checkered flag.
2 drivers I've kept my eye on lurking in the back of the pack all night long, but I'm going to go with one of those 2 drivers, and I'm going to go with the 27 machine of Patrick Byron in the Hooters Ford. So I have a rule of thumb. Usually, if you would have said the 27, or if I would have said the 85, I got a rule of thumb that I'm not going to take the same pick you do. So, hey, this time you and I are different. Got the 85. I'll take the 27. We'll see who's going to go to victory lane here in Daytona, because all these guys have been really mixing it up. We've seen a bunch of lead changes here tonight. The outside line can really work if you got a good pusher behind you and good pack of cars. It's going to be outstanding. So feel free to talk to us, folks, here on the YouTube chat here on Dre Broadcasting Network, as we're coming down for a shootout at Daytona. Gonna be wild here, Dave. I tell you, I bet that we're gonna go 3 wide now.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some 3 wide here with 22-lap shootout as the pace car now brings them out of turn number 4. We are getting ready to go green flag racing here as the pace car makes its way off of pit road here, being led by the 88 of William Kruska. He wastes no time getting on that throttle, gets a little jump. But I tell you what, 27 Patrick Byron saw it coming as he is going to stay side by side with him here down the lawn. Oh, he almost makes contact with a wall.
Yep, it's going to get intense now here, Dave. But that 27 machine doesn't have any kind of help whatsoever. But his little buddy is down there, and he's going to hop down there, I bet, really. And he does. Now now William Kruska is going to play defense. Now he's pretty much mirror driving for the next 20 laps. Extremely hard to do, folks.
Well, here comes the 85. He is going to be the leader of the outside lane there, as he has got the 28 behind him, but nope, he is going to drop back down single file. There's the 76 of Stephen Kinney running in 6th position right behind him as these guys are trying single file. But looky there, your guy there, Stephen Carlisle, the 78 machine, gets some help from the 27, and it looks like they are going to go around the 88 of William Kruska here in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Stephen Carlisle is out front now. Him and Patrick Byron, my pick Patrick, blew by the 88 machine of William Kruska. Now William Kruska's got to get on the radio and say, all right, who needs going to work with me? And look at that 76 machine. I counted him out earlier in the race, and he is back up there riding in the lead pack, trying to stick with the lead pack, and he's pretty much in contention for a shot to win this thing. He has proven me wrong in that Burger King Camaro.
Yeah, I think that Burger King guy is hungry. I think the King wants another Whopper, so he's going to try anything he can as the 88 of William Kruska jumps out in front of Ian Martinez to take control of that outside lane. So we are 4 cars on the outside, 5 cars on the inside.
That's Blake Rourke actually behind the 88. That is behind the 88 there. Blake was a number of like 2 laps down. Race officials let him get back on the lead lap. He does not have any kind of damage whatsoever. Coming down that back straightaway.
But I tell you what, your guy there's 78 of Stephen Carlisle was pulling your guy Patrick Bryan. They were working good on the inside there. They got help from the 76 of Stephen Kinney and the Burger King Chevy Camaro there as he jumps back out to help the 88 of William Kruska.
Man, oh man, I tell you what, William Kruska is doing everything he can to get that lead back. Clock is ticking, but man, I don't know. It's going to take a number of guys to get on that high side to challenge those top 2 guys. And I really got to tip my hat to Stephen Kinney. Man, he's doing a whale of a job. Oh, and the 34 machine almost went below the yellow line there and got back in line. That yellow line is considered out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't go below that yellow line and gain a position. That would be a penalty, but these guys are single file, 5 cars. Pack all running nice and tight here. Looks like they are all within a couple tenths of each other, so they are all within contention here, Tanner. Nobody's out of this just yet.
Oh, no, nobody's out of this at all, but there's some drivers that are trying to do something about it, and I believe your pick, was it Ian Martinez, you said, the 85? He's lurking back there. He hasn't made any kind of move, not really too much of a move he can really make at this point. Everybody's riding single file. 88 jumps out of line, but I don't know how well it's going to do. That is Kruska. Kruska's being followed by Rourke. Oh, contact! 88! Oh, getting pinched! There was contact between Stephen Kinney and William Kruska.
Great job by both drivers keeping it. Green flag racing here, coming to lap 84, 17 laps remaining here at Daytona International Speedway for the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250.
Absolutely. I just wonder what's going to happen. I don't think the 88 doesn't really want to work with the 76 of Stephen Kinney. He's trying to get Rourke to work with him on the high side. And Rourke's like, all right, I need someone behind me like Jones, Gavin Jones there. Oh, Gavin Jones hops down low. But maybe he doesn't really need anybody behind them because guess what? He pushed the 88 side by side with the 78 of Stephen Carlisle. And we got a battle up front here.
I thought we were going to see some 3 wide as it looked like the 34 of Rourke was going to try to go 3 wide. Elected to jump back down behind the 88 here, back to 2 wide. It looks like the 2 machine there of Tim Brangen just is not able to get up to help that outside, even though it looks like he is preferring to run that outside lane.
Yes, sir. And they're trying, though. They're really trying. They're trying to do a little side draft here as well to get their launches off the exit of the corners. In my opinion, usually side drafting is not really necessary, in my opinion, but you can use it. It can work, but you're also risking it like that with the 34 and 27 almost making contact. They just need more helpers on that high side. Looks like the 76... Stephen Kinney's kind of dying down here on the inside row. And I think the 2 car right there, Tim Rangan, says, I had enough of this. Nobody ain't jumping out, and the 76 has a pretty big gap between himself and the 27 of Patrick Byron. But we got a battle up front. Kruska and Carlisle. Down the long back straightaway of Daytona. And the 88 takes the lead here. Is he going to jump down low? Yes, he will. Kruska out front. And he had to do what he had to do. He had to dump the 34. He didn't have to, really, but he's just doing what he had to do. Now he's going to jump out to the high side. And to the line, it's Kruska this time by.
Yeah, but here comes Carlisle back on the inside. He is not giving up just yet. He has still got the 27 of Patrick Bryan right behind him, pushing him like crazy. As looks like they are going to excel past the 88 machine and put him a few spots back, as there is nobody outside with the 88 machine helping him right now. But here comes the 34 again, Blake Rourke, give him a good push here coming in at 3.
Man, oh man, we got some new players now. Here comes Rourke. Here comes the 2-car, Tim Brannigan. Here comes the 12 on the bottom, too. That is Gavin Jones. 85 machine still lurking back there. Hasn't really made a necessary move yet. That 85 machine, Ian Martinez. But now we're getting some players on that high side, led by the 88 of William Kruska. That high side, you do have the 2-car of Tim Brannigan. And behind him is the 28. Oh, and Rourke jumps to the high side. There's contact, netcode contact. That was netcode contact I seen. Caution is out at Daytona.
We are going to pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here with on lap 88 of 100 here. We are going to focus on Kruska here as we pull up the replay. We are following from the Goodyear blimp that has blessed us with their present here. Is 34 Warwick. Oh, yes. I don't think there was any actual contact between him and the 12, but it looks like they all stay off the wall, so they still might have a shot here, Tanner.
Absolutely, but I'll tell you this. Here's what I see. There was no contact whatsoever between the 12 and the 88. That was flat out netcode because there was a gap between the 88 and the 12. But there was contact between the 76 and the 12. The 76 and the 12 is Gavin Jones and Stephen Kinney. Stephen Kinney did get in the left rear quarter panel of Jones. That sent Jones around. That 2-car just squeaks by. That's Tim Brannigan that just squeaked by. 28 machine will have some damage. That is the 28 machine of Justin Bruns.
Well, I tell you what, Tanner, this is going to shake it up here. We are 12 to go. We are going to have right about an 8 to 9 lap shootout here for the checkered. This is going to stack them up. I don't think we're going to see anybody down on pit road unless they got some damage. They're going to try to go get it fixed. So we're going to keep an eye and see if these guys are going to come down pit road for one last pit stop, even though they have enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's going to make... I don't think the front leaders are not going to come down pit road. Oh, here comes Rourke. Rourke's going to come down pit road. He's going to give up the 3rd spot. So Martinez is going to stay out. Brannigan's going to stay out. Byron's going to stay out. And Stephen Carlile is going to stay out. I think it's Byrne, not Byron. I don't know why I keep saying Byron. Byrne. Four cars stay out here at the Daytona International Speedway. We're going to take a commercial break here in Daytona, and we will get these guys unloaded. I believe we'll be about 8 laps to go the next time we see the green flag. Don't go away.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. As tonight, there's going to be 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go for the Drive for Suicide Prevention Racing League Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 at Daytona. We should be getting the green flag racing with about 8 laps to go. And there's going to be, I'm counting right now, Dave, 9 cars on the lead lap. So let's go through these guys one more time here to get these guys set up and ready to go. Steven Carlil is out front. Patrick Byron, who Steven's been working with all night, is in second place. Tim Brannigan is in third place. Ian Martinez in fourth. Blake Rourke in fifth. Sixth is Gavin Jones. Seventh place, Stephen Kinney, who has that damage on him, but he's still in contention somehow, some way. Eighth place, the 88 car of William Kruska, who I'm not really seeing major damage on that 88 machine, but he's still in the mix. And Justin Bruns is trying to catch up. He is currently in ninth. Pace car is going to be darting to the left here, and we're going to have 8 laps remaining here in Daytona. As this is going to be wild. These drivers are on the backstretch. We're getting ready to go here. And the butterflies are probably sitting in with these drivers at the closing stages a lot worse than what it was at the start of the race. That's kind of like my opinion. But Dave, I tell you what, our drivers are pretty much in contention on the high side. You took Ian Martinez. I picked Patrick Byrne. But we'll see how this is going to play out here in Daytona.
Yeah, most definitely here is the pace cars now, bringing them out of turn number 4, getting ready to go. Green flag racing with 8 laps remaining here at Daytona.
Be a pretty cool feeling to say that you've won at Daytona International Speedway, just like other NASCAR legends of the sport that have won here. Here we go. 8 laps to go. Green flag is out. And may I remind everybody that with about 5 laps to go, if a caution does come out, there will be no green-white checkers. There's no green-white checkers on iRacing, so about 5 laps to go, then it's pretty much a checkered flag from there on out. Steven Carlil on the bottom, getting a push from the 2 of Tim Brannigan. The high side, Patrick Byrne, is trying to get some help up there. He does have help, but it's not enough momentum he is carrying so far. It's just a matter of trying to find someone to go with you and trying to get that good push because the clock is ticking for that checkered flag to come.
Yeah, they're getting a little dicey up front here as the 34 looks like he was going to go up, but he stays down. The 85 of Ian Martinez running in that third spot. But I tell you what, the 27 of Patrick Byrne and the 12 machine of Gavin Jones is making it work by themselves here on the outside as they cross the start-finish line with just 7 laps remaining here at Daytona.
Martinez thought about going to the high side, but he comes back in line as that leaves a 27 of Patrick Byrne on that high side. No drafting help. He's going to go back to find the place in line, which is to the tail end, Charlie behind the 12. Tell you what, it's heating up towards the front. Guess what? Here comes Tim Brannigan up towards the front, getting a heavy push from the 85 of Ian Martinez as they take the lead in Daytona. And they are clear. They can hop down if they wish, but they're using up that high side of the racetrack. There's Rourke. Blake Rourke in the 34. He's going to hop down on the bottom side. Nice power move.
Yeah, all 3 cars were able to get out past that leader and get down, so we are now being led by 2 of Tim Brannigan with just 6 laps remaining here at Daytona as they are battling it out here. I figure within the next 2 laps, we're going to start seeing some major power moves trying to get to that front there.
Oh, yeah, and you're going to need someone to work with you drastically. It's going to take about at least 3 cars to get that high side going. Oh, the 85, here goes Ian Martinez down in the inside in turn number 3. He's riding through the grass area. This will not bring out a caution flag. He does get it woved up and saved. Tremendous save by Ian Martinez, but it does take him out of contention for the race win tonight. Battle up front for the race lead. Blake Rourke on that high side getting a push from Steven Carlil, as he did not beat the number 2 to the line, but he is still battling up towards the front.
Well, Tanner, as you said, the next flag will end the race, whether it's the checkered flag or the yellow here, as they are coming too wide led by the 34.
This is getting dicey. That 12 car, Gavin Jones, is blinking. I hope that does not dictate the outcome of this race, because this is really coming down to the wire here in Daytona. And the 27 gets turned. This will bring out a caution flag. Caution is out. And I believe the 34 machine will take the checkered flag. We'll have to take a look back at the replay here. Holy cow. And it looked like that was a pushing incident on the left rear quarter panel. We'll have to take a look here, Dave. You have to get up on the replay there to see what you've seen.
Yeah, coming into the turn, the 12 of Jones gets on the back bumper of the 2 machine. The 27, we are going to rewind it here, running that outside with the 34 of Warwick, is they were pumping. Oh, it looked like maybe he thought about coming down, and as he did, the 34 was still hooked to him, and that got him spun.
I seen a lot of contact, or I shouldn't say a lot of contact, but a lot of moving around on that back bumper of the 27 machine. And you have to understand with these NASCAR Xfinity cars has a new spoiler since that last build. This is a different spoiler. It's a much smaller spoiler. And with all that moving around on the back end of the 34 machine, it just sent around the 27 machine towards the inside and made contact with the number 2 machine and Gavin Jones. This is pretty much going to end this race. Oh, wow. That's I was just going to ask you before we went green, Dave, would you rather be the leader or would you rather be the second place car? But a little late right now to ask that.
Well, I mean, we can ask it anyways. My thing is I would have liked to be in the 3rd or 4th place, second in the draft. That way I could use that draft to get a good run, jump to the outside, take it 3 wide for the checkered flag.
Yeah, but that also produces a lot of incidents on the racetrack as well. But when you go 3 wide. But I prefer to be like second place or 3rd if I can. Either way, I would like to be leading on that outside row. It just seems like you can get a nice run, providing if you have the correct help behind you, get a nice run on the exit of the corner and make it nice and wide, making those wheels come straight off the corner. That's where you're going to produce your run, and you could probably edge it ahead coming to the line on the guy on the inside.
Well, I mean, Tanner, it just all takes effect of how many laps to go. With 5 or 6 laps to go, I wouldn't want to be the leader on the outside, because what's usually going to happen is they're going to get a good run, drop down, but then that outside line is going to get it back another good run, and that's just going to push you even further back in the field as the laps tick down.
Somebody told me one time that it's just best just to finish a restrictor plate race. Why? Well, this last caution right here, this caution right now, is a perfect reason why, because that outside lane was moving, but there was the pushing between the 34 and the 27 that just sent the 27 around. Now, in recent past here on iRacing with these NASCAR Xfinity cars, you wouldn't have that really, but this package is a little more of a looser race package that we go to in these cars at certain racetracks to meet the 2017 NASCAR Xfinity Series standards. So we're going to come get the 2 to go right here. This will end the race. Blake Rourke just has to make it 2 laps around this 2.5 super speedway, and then he will claim the checkered flag.
Well, looking at our final race report, we are being led by Blake Rourke. He is going to take away the win. We've had 5 cautions tonight for 21 laps, and we have had 20 lead changes here at Daytona International.
Well, good lead changes. I like this car. I like this car at any kind of restrictor plate racing because it's easier to pass when you want to try to make a move. I just feel like as a driver on iRacing, if you're driving the Gen 6 Cup cars at the restrictor plate tracks, I just feel like it's more playing follow the leader. There's not really a lot of passing that goes on with those cars. But these cars, you get somebody hooked up behind you, or another third car behind him, you guys can really go towards the front on the outside line and really make it work. And I do believe the K&N Chevrolet Impala is the same way with these cars. So this will be your finish. These guys will have to make it around Daytona one more time. That 2 car of Tim Brannigan does have some left rear damage, but I guess it really doesn't matter as long as he makes it to the checkered flag in another lap. About 3 miles, Dave, these guys will take the checkered flag.
After an exciting 250 miles here at Daytona International for the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250, unfortunately, I was hoping we saw a green flag run here for the checkered, but it is going to end under the yellow. We've had 5 cautions tonight, 20 lead changes here, as these guys have been battling it out now for 250 miles.
I hope nobody decides to pull a Mark Martin, because Mark Martin actually, the race was going to end under caution flag at Bristol one time, and Mark Martin was actually on the white flag lap, went to victory lane on the white flag lap, thinking that was the checkered flag. But it was not the checkered flag, so he did not win that Bristol race a number of years ago. I think it took place during the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what year it was, but it was kind of funny, and I'm still kind of laughing about it through this day. So hopefully nobody does that, and nobody has. But just kind of looking back at NASCAR history, it's got in my mind because it looked like the couple cars were ready to pull off. Down the Daytona super stretch, Blake Rourke is going to go to victory lane here in Daytona. Tim Brannigan will actually do the results here shortly after the checkered flag. And once they start coming across the finish line, we'll see Blake possibly doing some donuts. Then we'll go over the race results and kind of wrap it up here in Daytona. Once again, we apologize that there will not be any kind of driver interviews tonight due to a Discord/TeamSpeak malfunction here tonight at Daytona. Some server didn't go up that like we wanted to, so we weren't able to try to get driver interviews tonight, unfortunately, but I'm sure we will be doing a lot more driver interviews in the near future here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Coming to the checkered flag, entering the tri-oval under caution flag, it will be Blake Rourke winning at Daytona in the Cystic Fibrosis 250. So congratulations to Blake on a great victory here tonight in Daytona. And that was actually a really fun race to watch as far as the pack racing is concerned, Dave. It was a lot of fun, but with that being said, let's kind of go over the results here of the race.
Well,
Blake
as you said, Blake Rourke is going to come away with the win. The 2 of Tim Brannigan is going to finish second. Gavin Jones in third. Stephen Carlisle will finish in fourth. And the 88 of William Kruska will round out your top 5.
Yeah, and outside that top 5, Stephen Kinney gets a solid top 10 performance in that Burger King Camaro. What a great job he did to keep his car as best as he can with the amount of damage as he had. Ian Martinez will finish in 7th. Justin Bruins will finish in 8th, the last car in the lead lap. Patrick Byrne will finish in 9th, 4 laps down. Rounding out your top 10 was a dominating car of the race, AJ Brissett. Jonathan Smith in 11th place tonight. Shane McCurry in 12th, 13th. Alex Bergeron, a pro driver here on iRacing who sat on the pole tonight, will finish in that 13th spot. Hayden Harville will finish 14th. Josh Fox in 15th. And 89 laps down is Joseph McWhorter. Well, Dave, final thoughts before we move on and wrap up tonight's race?
Well, as you said, it was some great pack racing here. We saw some bumping, grinding. We saw some, we didn't see much of 3 wide, but these guys definitely put on a show. We saw green flag pit stops. It was an overall great race, and I hope all the viewers at home enjoyed watching the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 here on Dre Broadcasting Network.
Absolutely. Well, folks, I am Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly. Thank you for watching here tonight in Daytona. As we will see you guys next time here on the Dre Broadcast Network. I don't know if I'm on schedule yet this time around, but But everybody we want to thank everybody first before we actually wrap this up first, though. We want to thank the drivers and the league organizer for Drive for Suicide Prevention Racing League here on iRacing for allowing us to broadcast this race tonight. Thank you very much. As for the Cystic Fibrosis Awareness 250 at Daytona. I'm Tanner Sharp. This is David Everly. Take care, everybody. Race clean, and we'll see you out there on the track.